Hey guys, Chaps here. This is the first video in what I'm assuming is going to be a new mini-series. Being an engineer, I tend to analyze the crap out of stuff, and I probably go a bit too far. As those who play with me often know, this generally leads to me creating some pretty crazy spreadsheets. In this series, I'm going to be showing off some of these sheets and explaining the results. I mean, hey, I've got a minor in mathematics, so I might as well use it for something, right? So with that said, I want to welcome you to the first episode of ChapsMath. In this first episode, I want to explore the two main Horde Insane Completion bounties. More specifically, I wanted to investigate the credit earnings that you get from using each. The first completion bounty we have awards you 75,000 XP for a full 1 to 50 run. The other completion bounty awards you 1,000 credits for a full 1 to 50 run. At first, it may seem that the 1,000 credit option would be the best bet, as it's the one giving you credits. But then the closer you look at it, you'll remember that every 5 levels you go up, you get 500 credits. This is where it starts to get a little more complicated. Essentially what it comes down to is that there isn't just one bounty to use at all times. There's going to be a certain level at which it's going to be in your best interest to switch from the 75,000 XP bounty to the 1,000 credit one. Now, originally this video was about 15 minutes long, and it was just me explaining how to use this tool that I created in order to figure out when you want to change levels, but that video turned out to be a bit dry and boring, so here's the quick version. The first thing I did was evaluate how much XP and how many credits you get in an average Horde run. The values I'm showing here are just rounded up approximations of what I got from an average match. As you can see, you're getting about 75,000 XP and 2,800 credits from a single match. This doesn't include the bounties or the credits that you get due to leveling up. The next thing was recording the various XP values it required to hit various levels. Note that this was done on re-up 2. The XP required per re-up changes slightly, but it shouldn't really make any difference for the overall result. With these values, I was able to generate this plot in order to determine how much XP is required at each level, which is going to be pretty important in the next step. Something I wanted to point out is that this plot is lining up with an R-squared value of 0.9998. This essentially shows us how well the curve actually matches up to the data that we provided. Anything above an R-squared value of 0.995 is essentially saying, hey, it's a perfect curve. And this is even better than that, so I think we're pretty good with this. The next thing I do is I set up this table in order to calculate how many credits and XP you're going to get per match on average. This is including the bounties and the leveling. As I said before, there's going to be a certain level where it's in your best interest to switch which bounty you're using. For this reason, I have the table split into two sections. The first section compares the two bounties between level 1 and some selected mid-level, and the second section compares the two bounties between the selected mid-level and level 100. Essentially what this tool is doing is it's calculating the total XP and total credits you get within these ranges. It will then calculate your average credits per match and the number of matches required to go through these ranges. What we're going to end up finding is that around level 52, we'll hit that sweet spot where you need to change which bounty you're using. As I said before, the XP required per re-up increases slightly as you move towards re-up 10. For this reason, it's not always going to be level 52 where you want to switch, but it's going to be somewhere in the 50 to 55-ish range. It's quite apparent that the credits earned per match during the latter half of your leveling are lower than those earned at the beginning. This had me thinking, hey, what if you just want to level up faster so you can get back to the higher earnings quicker? So I looked into this. I performed a theoretical leveling process using two different methods. The first method uses nothing but the 75,000 XP bounties. After 50 full 1 to 50 insane runs, you're going to go through close to 6 re-ups, and you're going to get yourself about 200,000 credits. The second method uses the method I proposed from my tool. You use the 75,000 XP bounties until you hit level 52, and then you switch to the 1,000 credit bounties. This is going to get you through about 3.5 re-ups, and it's going to net you 215,000 credits. When you look at things in the long run, it really puts it into perspective. It does a great job at filtering out the noise in the system and lets you get a more objective feel of how things work. The next thing I wanted to look at is the cost of the cards. The 75,000 XP card is a green common quality card, and it's going to cost you 40 scrap. The 1,000 credit card is a blue rare quality card, and it's going to cost you 100 scrap to make. So with all of this said and done, here's my suggestion. Just do whatever you want. It doesn't matter at all. The Coalition actually did an amazing job making these cards have very little difference. Though I'm sort of surprised that the 75,000 XP card is green and the 1,000 credit card is blue. I would have thought they would have flipped those around. I see people using two main methods for getting credits. The first method is going to be using nothing but the 75,000 XP cards. This is going to level you up much faster as I showed earlier, but you're going to miss out on about 20 to 30,000 credits over the course of all 10 re-ups. This may sound like a lot of credits, but in the long run, it's really not that much. The second method is the one I personally plan on using. It's simply using the method of switching the bounties around level 50 to 55ish. This isn't going to level me up quite as quickly, but it will maximize the credits that I earn. I plan on playing the game for quite a while, so I have no real need for worry about power leveling. And that is going to do it for this first episode of ChapsMath. Being that this is the first time doing a video like this, any feedback is greatly appreciated. In the future, would you like to see more detail? Maybe less detail? Be sure to let me know. Additionally, if you have any other further questions about what I discussed, don't hesitate to reach out. I love talking math with people. As always, if you enjoyed this video, drop it a like and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and subscribe to keep up to date with our content. If you have any other suggestions for future ChapsMath topics, be sure to let me know. And until next time, thanks for watching.